To be honest, you're really not stuck. You're just distracted. And now I know that might sound alarming, like, oh, I'm not distracted, I'm focused, I'm locked in, quote unquote. But a lot of times, what you think is locked in, what you think is focused, is really you just distracted. Because think about it this way: how many times have you ever felt like, oh, well, I'm showing up, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, I'm doing X, Y, Z. I got the plan. I'm doing A, B, C, whatever you could think, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. I feel like I'm doing everything, but for some reason, it feels like I'm just not making progress. It feels like I just can't move forward. Let me tell you something. You might just be distracted. You might just be distracted. Here's the thing. A lot of the times, if you say you want to go from point A to point B, let's say you're going from here to work and to your job, and you have 30 minutes to get there. And on the way to get there, you're stopping to eat. You're stopping to go pick up people. You taking your car wash to get detailed. Then you don't like it. Then you go back to the car wash and be like, oh, well, I want to detail it again. It's still dirty. Picking up people. You're going out to eat. You're putting air in your tires. You're getting gas, and your gas already full. You're doing everything but what you're supposed to be doing. Now, is those things bad? No. Are you supposed to get your car detailed? Are you supposed to go put gas in your car? Yes. But what ends up happening is, when you are doing things that's not what you're focused on, that can be a distraction. So even if something is not bad, even if something is not bad, if that's not what you're supposed to be doing, then that can become a distraction. Think about it. How many times have you felt like you was doing all the right stuff, but nothing was clicking? You got the business idea, you got this, you got that, but you spending all your time trying to think of a logo. You spending all your time trying to figure out, oh, well, what I want the name to be, what I want this to do. It's good stuff, right? Don't get me wrong. And that's important. But what ends up happening is you end up spending all your time on that instead of the actual business itself. Instead of actually, how am I going to make money from this? How am I going to market this? How am I going to sell this? You spending time on the small stuff. And that's the thing. The small stuff can also be a distraction if you're diving into the small stuff, that can become a distraction. Because if you think about it, a lot of the times when we say we want stuff and we desire stuff and we have goals and we have dreams, a lot of the stuff we don't go as hard as we know we can go for something, right? You know, if you want to be like a content creator, right, but you post one video a month, you know for a fact you ain't going as hard as you are. And also vice versa. That could go vice versa. You go hard for 1 week and then after that you disappear. How can you expect to have growth? How can you expect to that? Distractions. And these are just some of like the most popular distractions that I feel like a lot of people don't even really consider as distractions. I'm gonna give you the first thing that's really considered a distraction, but that might not feel like a distraction, is your phone. Your phone right there can be a big advantage, but it also can be your biggest disadvantage, depending on when you use it, how you use it, and what you use it on. If you know you have homework, using your phone is not a bad idea. If you got homework, using your resources, it'll help you, come up with the answers faster. It'll help you understand what this mean, what that mean, give you research. But if you're on your phone for the wrong reason doing your homework, let's say you're doing it to, get on TikTok, you make TikTok dances and you just scrolling. You're not even scrolling for purpose, not scrolling for motivation, faith, none of that. Just scrolling, looking at funny videos on YouTube all day. That's a distraction. People can be a distraction. Now, I'm not saying avoid all people, but if at a specific time, at a specific place, you're supposed to be focused on something, people can become a distraction. Now, it's not saying that people are bad people, but it's saying that you can make people become a distraction by you not having the ability to say that, hey, during this time right now, I need to lock in, I need to focus, I need to do this, I need to do that. But instead of doing that, you're trying to people please, which is another problem. And that person now becomes a distraction. And the third thing I feel like that can become a distraction is yourself. You can become your biggest distraction. I kid you, bro. I kid you not. Your mind, your heart, your desires, what you crave, those things can ruin you if you don't get those things in check. You can be having, you know what, I want to start a business. I want to do this. I want to get healthy. I want to start praying to God more. I want to get more involved in faith. You can have all the right ideas, but your mind, yourself will slow you down. You have one thing that triggers something, and all of a sudden, you're supposed to be reading your Bible. Now, all of a sudden, like I said, you either on your phone, you indulging in some stuff that you have no reason being in, you doing stuff that you have no reason doing, all because of yourself. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. You don't even have to be interactive with stuff. It can just come up in a blink of your, because you know your mind can play games on you. You could be doing something out of nowhere, you get a thought, boom. Now all of a sudden you go from focus to dwelling on a thought. Now you go from dwelling on a thought to planning on that thought. Now you go from planning on that thought to actually dwelling on that thought. And that's why it's so important to get your mind in check and have enough spirit in you to know that when things come up in your mind, you don't have to act on them. You don't have to react on them. We're all human. We all have, different type of, thoughts that come up here and there. But it's about what you do when they come up. And if I'm being so honest, the biggest distraction you're going to have is against yourself. Yourself will literally cause yourself to mess up. Just like you can cause yourself to be in good situations and thrive, you can also cause yourself to mess up. But anyway, that's all I got for the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click in the link if you want to read one of my books. I've worked tirelessly, y'all. I worked tirelessly